What's going on, y'all? It's been a minute since I've done something outside of Royal Club Wrestling Podcast. But there's a lot that has been going on, and I really want to talk about it. I really want to talk about a lot of the stuff that's going on. So before we dive into all that stuff, since it's been a minute since I've done anything outside of, the wrestling podcast, let's do a check-in. So for those that are new to this page, on the old podcast that I did, So in the Meantime, I adopted the check-in that Brandon Marshall, who did I Am Athlete, would do. And the check-in was pretty much on a scale 1 through 10, how are you doing? From the business side, from the professional, business, personal, and your mental health, your mental fitness. So I'm going to give y'all my check-in. I'm going to let y'all know how everything's going for me. Since it's been a while since, I've done this. So let's start with the business. Professionally, I couldn't be better. I honestly, I couldn't be more happier in my field, in my professional space. Currently, I am an associate producer, / an interim, active. My official role is an associate producer, but as of last week, I am the interim producer at my job. So it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on. It's a lot of stuff that is happening that I getting more familiar with, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. Every day I go there and it's like I don't complain. I didn't complain when I worked at the hospital. I didn't. But it's like because I'm in my field, it's like I don't look at it as work. That's the one thing that I always tell people. When you get into your place and it doesn't feel like you're working, that's the best feeling in the world. And for me to be in the position that I'm in, and I haven't even been there for a year. I haven't been at my job for a year, and I started off per diem. Then I went to part-time. Then I went to a full-time associate producer. All under 1 year. Most people get out of college and they struggle to find a job in their field. I know a few people that are going through that as we speak. So I'm beyond grateful and blessed that I'm able to be where I'm at in that position. As far as my personal media stuff goes, I've been, as you know, trying to put as much Royal Club content out as possible. Conversations with Chi is still getting ironed out. I'm trying to get it up and running by the beginning of 2024. So be on the lookout for that. I will try to have more announcements coming in the foreseeable future, but I am definitely looking for 2024, first quarter 2024 of Conversations with She coming out. Personally, it has its ups and downs. Personally, I have my ups and downs. Um, I have my moments. Um, I have times where I'm exhausted. Um, just because there's so much going on. Um, Fatherhood, adulthood, personal stuff. I'm not going to dive all the way into all that stuff right now because, I don't want to. As I continue to put different content out here, and some of it is probably going to be like some prequel conversation with She Talk, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I talk about the personal stuff. Some of the highs and lows of the shit that I go through. Mental, same as personal. It has its ups and downs, it has its highs and it has its lows. I've been trying to not go into this spiral of, as always, that's always been the theme. I said, like, if my life was a theme, if I had to put a song or something to it, good enough, from Empire. Because there's points in my life, or there's points throughout the days that I feel though as if, like, damn, like, I have to question, like, damn, am I good enough? And it's, I've know that I've said in the past that I've tried to, or I've had this battle for a long time and going through therapy and everything, and it's getting better. Obviously it is, but when you've been feeling this way and you've been feeling the questioning if you're good enough, and you've been doing that for so long, it's kind of hard to kind of think that you can snap yourself out of it and just be like, everything is fine. Because the smallest things can trigger it and make you go back and revert back to these moments and these questions, So that's just what it is, But overall, I'm good, I'm good. So with all that being said, let's dive right into it. I don't want to take much of your guys' time. So I'm recording this on Sunday, which is football Sunday. We are in week 6 of the NFL season, and I want to kind of give y'all my thoughts on the NFL season so far. It's a lot. First and foremost, a team that I have adopted. My cousin has pretty much ordained me as a Niners fan. But yeah, I want to talk about the Niners, man. Since week 1, the Niners have looked like they're in mid-season form. Them and the Eagles are the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. I do believe we play the Browns tonight, or we play the Browns today, actually. I don't think that's going to be. I'm safe to say that we're going to be 6-0. Safe to say we're going to be 6-0 against them, but who knows? Who knows? It's any given Sunday, anything can happen. But they look like they're in mid-season form. Christian McCaffrey is my MVP. Right now, he's my league MVP. So I'm glad to see that, that's happening. I mean, the Niners just all around is just a complete team. Defense is clicking on all cylinders. Brock Purdy is emerging as top 10. I'm not going to go top 5, but top 10 quarterback in the league right now. I know a lot of people think that it's more of a system. I know Shannon Sharp was saying that earlier on First Take this week. But Niners is definitely right now the team I have coming out in the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl. On the AFC side, the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to talk about the Chiefs real quick because a lot of people are not really talking about this. And I feel like they're not talking about it because they don't want to give this man his just due. And that's Eric the Enemy. You can tell, and they want to say like, oh, it's the receivers, it's Eric the Enemy. Eric the Enemy not being the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs is showing how valuable this man was to that team. But they're going to say it's all these other reasons. They're not really going to give ED his credit. And that's not a good thing, man. That's one thing that I would say pisses me off about them, about the NFL, is that they're not, or these sports people, they're not giving ED his credit, But when it comes to the coaching positions and then it comes to him not getting a head coaching position, it's everybody like all up in arms like, oh, man, look, they're not giving ED his credit. They're not giving ED an opportunity. Y'all not putting it on the spotlight that look at how Kansas City's playing without ED as their coordinator. I'm not trying to yell. I'm not. But, yeah, it's just, man, just give credit to where credit is due, man. That's all I'm saying. Because if Kansas City doesn't make it to the Super Bowl, I wonder who's going to catch blame. I wonder who's going to catch blame. Let's talk about the highs and lows of this here city that I am from, and that is Buffalo. Let's talk about them Buffalo Bills real quick before I wrap up my NFL take. So tonight we play the Giants. Last week was not a good night. It wasn't a good day for Bills fans, for Bills Mafia, as the Bills lost to the Jaguars. But a lot of talk seems to be going on between the relationship between Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. I will go on record on saying that, in my personal opinion, I'm not the biggest fan of Josh Allen. Here's why. There's not when they're down, you don't see a sense of like urgency, or you don't see an angry Josh Allen. You don't. You see Josh sitting on the sideline. He's sitting on the side like just like he's just got this blank stare. It's like there's no energy. There's nothing there. You see the energy when he scores a touchdown, when he's, getting all, like I see him pissed off more when he scores than when he's losing. Like there's this controversy, there's this issue going around now with Diggs, with Stephon Diggs, who is my favorite player on the Buffalo Bills. Him and Matt Milano, which I'm so pissed off that Matt's out for the season. I'm so pissed off that he's gone. But Stephon Diggs, as Ryan Clark alluded to, he's not showing up his quarterback. He's pissed that they're losing. He's pissed that the Bills are losing. And I've said this before. I will say this again and again and again and again until the Bills win a Super Bowl. The window of opportunity for the Buffalo Bills to have went to the Super Bowl and win was the year that they lost in the AFC Championship to Kansas City in Kansas City. That was y'all window of opportunity. That was the window of opportunity for Bills Mafia. I promise you, I'm not saying this out of hate. The one thing, because a lot of people, a lot of my friends know that before I took my hiatus from the NFL, I was like how Shannon Sharpe is with the Dallas Cowboys. I was like that with the Buffalo Bills. But it was more so about the fan base. The fans is what... It was certain fans, not all fans, because Bills Mafia is probably one of the most dedicated, loyal, loving fan bases that I've ever seen. And it's not just because I'm from this city. It's because, like, when you look at what they do, not just for them, not for their players, but for people that have done something. Like, if something happens to an opposite player, and it happens with us, we will turn around and we will do whatever. We will donate money. We will do all types of stuff just because it's in Bills Mafia to do so. But there were certain fans that just was like delusional Bills fans. Just like there's delusional Cowboy fans. Delusional Yankee fans, Laker fans, you name it. Delusional. I have to separate the two. So, but I will always say that that window of opportunity was there because I had a feeling that if they didn't capitalize then, it was going to be hard for them to do it after. As a fan of football, I have a team that I root for in the Niners, but there's no, like, I don't want to say loyalty, but there's like, I watch the game with a broad scope. I don't just watch rooting for one team. Like, yes, I have said that, I'm a Niners fan. Like, I cheer for them, and if they go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to be ecstatic, and if they win, I'm going to be thrilled. But even if, like, we don't win, we don't go to the Super Bowl, whoever's in the Super Bowl, I'll have my take and all this other stuff. But it's like, when it comes to Buffalo, I am not looking from the lens of being a hater. I'm looking from the lens of someone that has watched, and because I've been on the side of hating, and I've been on the side of, like, supporting them, I'm coming from a neutral side. I'm coming from a point of opinion where it's like, hey, listen, this is what's going on. And I've always said, in my opinion, I feel like what Josh Allen has done is Josh Allen has become more hero ball. He wants to play more for oneself than the team. When he started getting the comparison like, oh, it's Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. It's Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. It's like, he's like, oh, it's all about, like, yeah. Yeah, he might say, like, yeah, it was on me. The loss was on me, this, and the third. But I feel like he's become so, that pressure of being one of the top quarterbacks in the league, that pressure, he's never felt that pressure before. And I don't think he knows how to handle that pressure. That's just my opinion. But listen, I want to see them. I want to see the Bills make it to the Super Bowl. I would love to see the Bills make it to the Super Bowl, because I will feel so happy for the real diehard Bills fans that I know, like my brother, like my cousin, like, like Saad, like my boy Brandon, those particular people, and there's a few others, but those are the ones that really stand out to me of ones that I will be happy for if the Bills won a Super Bowl. So with that said, sports debate showdowns. Let's talk about the sport debate shows. So as we know, we have, since football season started, there's been a new look. We all know. The last episode of So in the Meantime, I alluded and talked about the end of an era with Undisputed, and not knowing where Shannon Sharp was going. Obviously, by now we know, obviously, Shannon Sharp is host on Mondays and Tuesdays. And, he was the lead host on Friday at First Take. Skip Bayless has his crew of Keyshawn, Michael Irvin, Richard Sherman over there for FS1. But Stephen A. Smith seems to be making the rounds. And he seems to be making the rounds with a lot of stuff that he's been doing recently. A lot of Max Kellerman talk, conversation that has been circulating. And I'm going to do a deeper dive with this conversation because it's a lot. His conversations with Joe Button, bringing up the whole Max Kellerman situation, his conversations on his podcast, bringing up Max, bringing up Marcellus, because Marcellus, came to Max's defense. Him, deflecting and going at Jason Whitlock, who I am not a fan of, but Jason Whitlock did say some stuff that did catch my attention and said, okay, you make a valid point. So it's those things. And like I said, later down the line, I will give a deep dive into that because it's a lot, and I've been wanting to really do a real conversation about Stephen A. Smith and, my points of view. He's been going at it with a few people. T.O., that's one big one that happened recently. But I want to do that, for it's on my notes, but I feel like I would not do it justice by making it short. So I want to give y'all a full thing on that. But my take on First Take and Undisputed, I'm liking more of the First Take. I like Shannon Sharp on there. I hope that he's not just going to be there for football. Obviously, Friday they did talk more about NBA stuff as well. And Shannon Sharp, he's good for that. We've seen him on Undisputed. We've seen his takes on Undisputed. So I would love to see him more on there after the football season is over. But I love that right now. I would love to see Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, Swagoo, and Ryan Clark. Them four, I would love to see them four together. More so Shannon Sharp, Ryan Clark, and Swagoo. You already know Stephen A. Smith, I put him to the back burner, but, I would love to see them. I would love to see, and I'm waiting for it, Ryan Clark, what you doing? You got him. Get him on the pivot. Get Shannon Sharp on the pivot. Have him on the pivot with you, Freddie T, Shannon Crowder. Let's get that. Let's get Shannon Sharp on the pivot. That's what I want to see. RC, if you ever see this video, get Shannon Sharp on the pivot, please. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. I think y'all will have a phenomenal conversation. And yes, Stephen A. Smith did it with the Stephen A. Smith show, and he addressed it on there, the whole Skip Bayless situation. But I want to see y'all talk about it, especially you, because you were the voice of the Damar Hamlin situation. You was the one that put everything in perspective. You were the one that was very professional. You were the one that poured your heart out to this situation. And I would love to hear you and Shannon Sharp talk about that. I would love to hear y'all talk about that. So that's that. Now, do I want to talk about this matter? I'm going to talk about it a little bit. And that's the whole Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, this whole debacle, this whole madness, this messiness that is going on with this. So recently, Jada has been on the press doing press runs for her book. She has a memoir coming out, and she's telling a lot in this memoir, and she's telling a lot in these press runs. The more noticeable one, the more notable thing that she stated was her and Will Smith have not been together since 2016. Now, this comes to no surprise to anybody, but it has pissed off a lot of people, me being one of them. Okay? And I said it pisses me off because, as we all know, Will Smith, we all know about the slap, you know. And she also alluded to how Chris Rock had apparently tried to take her out, wanted to take her out on a date. And this was after the rumors came out about the separation. But it's so funny because it doesn't make sense. And this is what I mean. And I was watching Ryan Davis, right? He's a comedian, Ryan Davis. You've probably seen him on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all this stuff. And he was talking about how he was sick and tired of Jada. But he brought up a good point. He said, you said you made a statement about how you and Will haven't been together since 2016. Okay, cool. So you make that statement, but then you turn around and you say, like, will Chris Rock try to shoot a shot or try to take you out on a date amongst these rumors? But it's not a rumor if you're saying and you're confirming that from 2016 till now, you and Will have been separated. So me and Assad had a kind of back and forth about this because Assad was like, Will Smith should have slapped him harder. Chris Rock deserved it. I'm not going to go back and forth about the deserving and this and the third, but I was just like, okay, why? Because he made this comment about her, because he tried to slide in and tried to go on a date with her, but she was sleeping with her son's best friend. She was sleeping with August, okay? So where was all this? He needs to slap August, this, that, and the third. And then there's the Tupac stuff. Tupac apparently tried to propose to her while he was locked up. Tupac apparently had alopecia. She said that Tupac proposed to her, and I don't have the exact quote. I don't know exactly what was said. So if I am wrong with this, please let me know in the comments. But I believe on All the Smoke, she had made reference to, mind you, she's on All the Smoke, but she makes reference to how she didn't feel that way towards Pac, but yet every year, every time, you're always talking about Pac as you have this love for Tupac. Like you were in love with Tupac. So much so that your kids have said that they had dreams of Tupac as like their dad or something like that. Some bullshit. And I'm just like, fam, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse my language. I'm sorry. But it's just this really annoys me because I'm looking at, and don't get me wrong, Will Smith has said what he said, and it's just, in all seriousness, we shouldn't even really care about this relationship. This goes to show you that we should not put these celebrity relationships on the pedestal that we put them on. Because as of recently, we have Remy Ma and Papoose, who has apparently just took Black Love and just Remy threw it to the ground and just smeared all over it, allegedly. We all know about Jay-Z and Beyonce and that whole debacle and everything that happened with them and all the stuff that happened in the past with them. Now we have this, which has been going on for years, Will Smith and Jada, but now we just continue to see that Jada is doing this, and it's like it's this whole back and forth of emasculating of men and how men just are being looked at as a certain way. And I'm segueing, and this is going to be where I leave y'all because there's much more I have to say about this particular subject matter. But there were two videos. There was a video that went viral a couple months ago, and then there's this video right here of this. So we are seeing this day and age where, and some people think it's not real. I look at it as, if it is real, cool. We have problems. If it's not, why are we trying to show this? Why are we trying to show women degrading or looking down upon people, taking them on dates to the Cheesecake Factory? You know? Really? Like, you gonna scrunch your face up over the Cheesecake Factory? Like, it's stupid. It's stupid. And then we have this, the viral video of the young man that just broke down and cried over the fact that he got stood up on a date. And he's just saying how the dating scene is hard. Yeah, it is. It is. Because I talked a little bit about this on my cousin's podcast, Let's Start Healing. And I talked about how, like, there seems to be a sense of stuff going on with how women are feeling so much. Like, there's this sense of when a woman nowadays, and a disclaimer, I'm just stating what I've been seeing. And it's my opinion based off of what I've been seeing. So if you have anything to say, please leave it in the comments. Just let me know. I'm working on something, have a further in-depth conversation about this. But it seems to me that there's this women, when women hear the word being submissive or, being more in with your feminine energy, it seems to ruffle feathers. Because maybe it's the music, maybe it's the artist that's promoting this music, that's putting this music out, where they're just on this women being more in tune with their masculine energy. And it's not sitting well. It's making men kind of be reserved and I'm not, like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we so pressed on emasculating men? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm working on something, and that's why I said I want to talk about this in more depth, but I just wanted to say that there's a problem that's going on now. It's a real big problem going on in the society, in the world that we know and that we're in now. Where it's this shift. But I'm gonna have a very in-depth conversation about this matter with a variety of different people because I want to kind of get to the bottom of this, you know. So honestly, I don't want to hear no more about Jada and Will. At the end of the day, I don't want to hear nothing more about Jada and Will. I don't. I don't really want to. Yeah, it's just. This will be probably the last time that I speak on it. I spoke about Jada and Will during the entanglement, and I talked about them so in the meantime, with me and my brother talked about it. Me and Sai talked about it too, but that episode never came out. But yeah, this might be the last time that I talk about it because it's messy. In my opinion, Jada is just evil, you know. And what I'm like, my cousin, shout out to my cousin Russ. He's like, you know, Jada, and a lot of people said Jada's just a dude. Like Jada's just really tapped into her masculine energy, and she's just acting like a dude. But that's not here nor there. I didn't want to take much of y'all time, so that's all I have for right now. Make sure that you leave your comments in this video. Let me know what y'all think about what I talked about, what y'all take on the football, what y'all take on First Take, what y'all take on the whole Jada Pinkett, Will Smith situation. Let me know. More content will be coming out. I do for my gamers. I do have the new Assassin's Creed Mirage. When I'm done with that, I'm going to do a recap video talking about that game, giving my thoughts on it. What do I think about it? So far, though, it's giving me a lot of nostalgia. It's giving me a lot of that old Assassin's Creed. This is like AC1 to like AC Revelation. You know, it's giving me a lot of those vibes to it. So, and Spider-Man games coming out. I do have the Mortal Kombat game. So I have that. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Movie-wise, I know, shout out to my man Izel, because he's been looking for me to do some more trailers and movie reviews. He wants me to do a horror review. As I pass that message to Jalea, to him, I am not doing that. You could do it yourself because you already know how I feel about fucking horror movies. I don't like gore. I'd say it like this. I was on Amazon Prime and I was looking at movies to watch. And one of the movies that they have is Terrorize 2, right? That's the clown movie. And you know, you have Prime. They show you the trailer like in the top screen. They did not show the trailer. All they did was just you heard the sound of the trailer, but you did not see the trailer. I knew then this movie ain't it. This movie ain't cut out for me. I've heard about it. I heard it's very graphic, very disturbing, very ugly, very nasty. I'm good on that. I'm good. I would do other movie reviews. I would do other movie trailers. I would do other movie reactions, reviews, TV shows. Horror is gonna be a stretch. Probably not gonna do it. But listen, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please make sure you make sure you hit that notification bell because, like I said, more information will be coming out in the foreseeable future as far as stuff for Conversations with Chi. I will be doing more reviews, reactions, things like that. So be on the lookout for all that. He is I am him. It's your main man Chi. I am out. Later.